Hello, everyone. I'm Kibin Alleyne, and today is Tuesday, August 29th. You are now watching Open, a program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to you. Don't forget to stay connected with us via social media at BronxNet TV. As college costs continue to rise, current high school students are thinking more strategically than their predecessors when it comes to their education. Tony Durkan, Vice President and Head of 529 College Savings at Fidelity Investments, is joining us now to discuss new data that questions whether the next wave of students are financially savvy enough to make the right choice. Tony, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Kippen.
So I want to jump right into it. Can you just talk about, how are high school students being more strategic than with their college choices?
Yeah, Kippen, what we're finding more than ever is they're beginning to prioritize a career path and considering their financial future as they think about their college choice. Additionally, despite recent declines in college enrollment, our study found 2 in 3 respondents feel the value of college is still worth the cost, and the wave of college students are feeling a bit of FOLO, or fear of losing out on their investment. As a result, they're prioritizing smart money moves as they narrow down their college choices.
Now, why are students being more intentional about their college choices? What may have caused this?
Yeah, I think the shift now is students are valuing better employment opportunities and financial security, and they're being smart about how they get there. They're also learning from their predecessors. Our study found 7 in 10 recent college graduates would reconsider what they studied in college to secure a better return on their college investment. With student debt crisis, inflation, and concerns about job security, it's not surprising to see the next generation of students embracing thoughtful decision-making as they narrow down their choices.
So we heard that they take in majors or like what they decide to study into account. But does this also consider maybe like whether or not they want to go away for college, or if they want to dorm, or like are more people doing commuter schools? Are you able to talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah, I think what we found here is the Gen Z, they are thinking more strategically. We also saw a big opportunity to have them brush up on their financial knowledge. What we found is 1/4 of high school students think the cost of a one year of college cost is $5,000 or less. And most got that answer by guessing instead of using a planning tool. But when it comes to paying for college, 63% think they're more prepared than their parents. However, more than half don't know how much of their own education they'll be expected to pay for themselves. Finally, 6 in 10 high school students say they won't be able to afford college without the help of student loans, but more than 1/3 don't know how long it will take to pay that back.
Now, understanding this, what are some key factors students and parents should consider when planning for college?
Yeah, a simple first step is just to simply have a conversation about money, and saving for college can help with that conversation. And it's never too early to start having that conversation. Starting the savings journey as early as possible. And if you can't start early, save what you can when you can. Every little bit helps, and there's certain accounts like a 529 that make saving for college even easier with its certain tax advantages. Fidelity has all the resources to help families navigate the college planning and savings journey together, such as our college cost calculator, articles about how to approach money conversations with kids, as well as basics about 529 accounts.
Now, I also want to talk about post-college expenses. Can you first just explain, what those expenses could be, and then how could families also prepare for that as well?
Yeah, well, the expenses could be room and board. It could be equipment, such as computers. So those expenses are also eligible to be paid for by using a 529 account.
Now, when should students begin looking into this? I know this could be a challenge for a lot of teenagers who, honestly probably aren't thinking about money in this way. So when should we start to have these students look into, I guess, these finances a little bit earlier than I guess they would?
Yeah, I think obviously as early as possible, right? But it's never too late to start having that conversation and start looking into what is available and what the college experience or higher education experience is going to look like from a financial perspective. So again, I would say reverting back to the tools on our website at fidelity.com can help help families navigate that conversation.
Now, can you actually tell us a little bit more about your organization and the work that you do? I think it would be very helpful for maybe some parents who maybe their student or their child is the first one to go to college and they may be having trouble navigating this as well. So can you tell us a little bit more about your organization?
Yeah, so happy to do that. So for Fidelity as a company, we offer multiple ways to contact us, whether it's on the phone, whether it's online, or whether we have a large footprint of investor centers throughout the country. So you can meet us face to face, you could talk on the phone, or you can do your own research online. But we try to give you the opportunity to sit down with a financial professional to ask the questions that you need answered to help navigate this roadmap.
Now, are there any common mistakes or misconceptions people have when it comes to college planning?
Yeah, I think some of the common misconceptions is when you're saving for college through a 529, that savings may hurt when it comes to financial aid, and that isn't always the case. I think there are also some misconceptions on what the money can be used for. So you brought up earlier, it's not just for tuition. I think that was one of the main misconceptions early on. It can be used for all of your qualified higher education expenses. In addition to that, one of the big developments recently with Secure 2.0 is some folks who start using 529s that fear that if the student doesn't use up all of that money, what's going to happen to it? That may prevent them to actually opening the account. With Secure 2.0, any excess money in a 529 account will be eligible to be rolled over to a Roth IRA. That was a major change that we just experienced.
And I also just want to, for clarification, because I think this is very important, this does not affect your financial aid at all. So, or is that the case? Can you expand on that a little bit more?
Yeah, I'd have to defer to college planning expert, but when it comes to saving in a 529 account, it's not that there is no effect, but it is a minimal effect, and I think the perception was that it had a bigger effect on financial aid than it really does.
Okay. And then I guess, what would you say to people who are maybe a little bit apprehensive towards, looking into this, or maybe feel overwhelmed that it's maybe like another thing that they have to process when it comes to college? What would you say to those families?
I would say, please use all the resources that you have available. I would point to, whether you wanted to meet with us in person, online, or over the phone. But there are certainly other websites and resources out there that can help you navigate. There's a lot of different components to it, to the college planning process. And there's certainly enough resources out there to help navigate that road.
And then I guess for your organization, where can people go to look for more information? And, how can they know what, I guess, area of the website is right for them?
Yeah, I'll give you the URL, which is fidelity.com/college help. And that'll bring you the landing page, which will help you start having this conversation and give you all the resources you need to help start answering those questions.
Right. And as we mentioned, that we want to make sure that we're having this conversation earlier than later, correct?
That's the key, for sure.
All right. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining us and having this conversation. I think this is very important, especially as, it's August and school is right around the corner. I think this is an amazing a segment just for students and families, just to learn more about what's out there for them. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Don't go away. We'll be back with more Open right after this.